we both trained with Tom Platz, and nobody in history trained as intense as Tom did.
Bulk, you want to put weight on, just fucking eat. How hard is it?
You know what a clean bulk is? Again, and it shocked my fan base because this last 7 years, you got to figure these 15-year-olds are now 20-year-olds, and they're like never seen me off season.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think that you and I, we trained for 8-9 years easily before we were even out of our teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just starting to come to where, you know, the magazines and all that stuff. You were faster than me, but it was those growing years that we did it and we found it. So we got lucky. Yeah. And I understand that, but I also understand that it's a tough thing, and you do have to have some just born good genetics, and it's the consistency of just going in and pounding it. A question for you, because you're huge on this, and the one thing I love is we did something right back in the day. Mm-hmm. We take time off in the sense of prepping for a show. Hey, will you the front door?
You know what we did? You know what we did right back in the day? We didn't take our fucking phones in the gym, mainly because we didn't have them. But you know, every time I bring up that subject, look, I always say to people, if you're serious about training and you want to be good at something, you can't have your phone in the gym. Hey, if you just want to go to the gym and fuck around and take photos and shit like that, that's fine. But if you're training to be number one at something and be the champion, you can't have your phone. It's a distraction. It's like people go, well, I use it for music. Get an iPod. Because I always tell people, if you're going to change a song, hold on, I got 5 messages. You can't tell me you're not going to look and see who the message is from and just say it's a shitty message. And now your fucking train of thought's out the window. You're fucking mad at whoever just sent you a message. It's like, leave your phone in your gym bag or in the car. Just focus. Unless you're a heart surgeon on call, you don't need your phone.
You're not doing the phone.
Well, I want to take photos of my workout. How about you do your workout first and then go back and take the photos when you're finished?
We did that. Back in the day, we would get a workout in and we covered up. And I think you're like me, where we always covered up.
Always. The only time I'd have photographers get so mad at me, because we'd sometimes come to Golds. The only time I trained in a tank top or no top was for photo shoots or videos. Always covered up. People go, but if I look like you, I'll do this. I said, no, you wouldn't. It's like when I was 13, I wore a tank top thinking, oh, look at my little muscles. And the bigger I got more covered up. And I'd have photographers meet me at, what was that one? Was it Marina Del Rey had that gym in the middle that the other old shows
off the 90. The Marina Del Rey gym. Yeah, I remember that.
We'd go there.
Great lighting. Great lighting.
Because it was quiet there sometimes. So we'd go there and that. I had like sometimes Robert Reef or Ralph DeHaan. Okay, Lee, get your shirt off. I'd look around and go, too many people. What do you mean? I said, I'm not going to take my shirt off. There's too many people. I don't like being looked at, which is weird because some bodybuilders, once they get a thing, they're all strutting around. But I was never like that. It's like I had to be, even after a contest, I say, Lee, come down to Venice Beach on the boardwalk. We'll do a photo shoot with the crowd. I'm like, no, I don't want to stand there amongst just general public and they're going, oh, look at him. I was like, I would never do. That's why I do my photo shoots with David Paul. He'll take me into the mountains or take me somewhere far away where there's no people.
So just two things then, because I don't want to lose this. We're going to come back to why we always covered up. And, but first off, I put up, I got to go because I was guest posing so much this last 7 years. And what's nice is this quarantine has allowed me to stop traveling, actually go off season again and actually have a real off season I haven't had in 7 years. Now I love guest posing. I love being ripped all year long. When I understand that that's not going to put muscle on me. That's not going to move me forward. That's just going to get me money. I'll guest pose a lot. Great. And so I went off season again, and it shocked my fan base because this last 7 years, you got to figure these 15-year-olds are now 20-year-olds, and they're like never seen me off season. So I got to go off season, and I freaking
did you upset them going from that?
Yeah, right. It was such a funny thing because it was like these kids have never seen that. And it's like, well, just go look at my old pictures when I was powerlifting. You know, I'm 275. I'm a big human. And so, I went off season, and you hear the comments. My team does. I can't read this stuff. It would get me too angry. But the team was like, these guys are saying going off season is not right. You shouldn't do off season. You shouldn't bulk up. And I'm sitting there going, wow, this might be the dumbest generation in a sense of people talking about health.
What I think it is
a surplus of calories.
Oh,
Too,
yeah.
But I want to hear from you. What is the off-season?
I always used to bulk up, and then, well, right now, when I'm doing my lives, I always get, Lee, when you're bulking, do you do a clean bulk or a dirty bulk? I'm like, you fucking bulk. You want to put weight on, just fucking eat. How hard is it?
Tell me what a clean bulk is.
To me, a clean bulk.
Time to get muscle. What's a clean bulk?
Isn't clean bulk dieting? It's like, I'm not, it's like, yeah, okay, some off seasons, I might have steak and vegetables, but then an hour later, I'd have McDonald's, but then I might have chicken and rice. And then an hour after that, a liter of ice cream. So I'd have clean and bad food together. But, you know, what it is like the internet's a great thing, but I also think it's like when people go.
These guys are going crazy over here, just so you know. My whole crew's going, yeah!
But it's like when we get into this word I hate, bro science. Listen, the bro science. I don't know what
bro science is.
I got a friend, mate. He's a nutritionist, a doctor. He's done fuck all his life, but he's a fucking scientist. He wears a lab coat. So let me tell you that he says you can't eat that type of stuff. I'm like, you know what? It's the same as you, same as me. I think over 30 plus years, I know what works and what doesn't work. I've done it to my body when it comes to food, training, cardio, which combinations work best. Yeah, granted, everyone's different. I like higher carbs. When I dieted for a contest, I think the lowest I ever went was 250 grams of carbs. Like, but some people have to go to 50 because they could be carb sensitive. You know, you've got to find what works for you. But the thing is, overall, when it comes to bodybuilding, weight training, that's pretty fucking basic. You want to get big, train heavy and hard, eat big. You want to get in shape, eat clean, train hard. My training never changed from contest. The only thing that changed was my diet and cardio. Training, always heavy and hard. I didn't go into drop sets, triple sets. You know, I'd throw them in occasionally, but my training wasn't to get my heart rate up and burn fat.
That was what cardio so many people. You're disappointing the world right now because I talk about this going, guys, it doesn't change. It's very simple. And then people, yeah, I'm an echo of what you're saying. So that's why I don't need to say much today because I'm just a basic echo of what you're saying. But why is it that we try to tell them this? And you've been a pro since you were 20 years old, barely 20. You weren't even, you've been a pro. You've been at the top of the field, and you try to explain what you did almost 30 years ago on how to do this. Why is the world fighting that? Why do they say,
I don't know, because even
sets, I need my pyramid sets, I need my supersets, I got to be fatigued, I got to be in a deficit, I got to be cardio in the morning and night, I got to go run.
Train to failure. I train to failure all the time. Do I do this?
Every workout, every set, failure. What are you doing?
Exactly. And you can't go do you go heavy all the time. To me, I was like, I know you trained with Tom Platz, and I trained with Tom for 8 months. And like I said, when it comes to intensity and craziness, he's the fucking king. You remember, this was me sometimes doing shoulders with Tom. You know, you do your set of laterals. You finish. Tom set. Five minutes late.
I got to explain this to the people. They're not going to understand. So I would do a set, leg extensions or side laterals, and I'd be tired. And then Tom would do his set. But then you had to spot Tom and force his reps and until you're already tired. And then you had to, there's nobody that trains better,
if we're doing
crazier than Tom.
If you're doing laterals or anything, you get a burn, you can't do anymore, you stop about here. Tom would be 5 minutes later. And like, I'm going cold waiting for my fucking set because Tom's still fucking going doing this. He got every tiny little bit.
He's flinching.
If he's doing calf press like this and you think, okay, he stops and he starts doing little ones and he says, grab my toes. And now you're pulling on his fucking toes and he's still going like this for 5 minutes. You're like, bloody hell, Tom, stop. But I always say to Tom, make it come back. He goes, Lee, I can't. He goes, if I get in that frame of mind and shit turns on, he goes, I go crazy because he just had that passion and love for it. He just would be like, even when I was doing like leg extension, leg extension with Tom, you do as many as you can. Then when you can't do any more, he'll bring them up and give you forced ones. And then when you can't do any more, he'll make you bring them up, hold them, and then he'll start pushing down on it. He's like, push down on it, punch me in the face. I'll be above you like this. But your legs are fucking
everybody watching this, you don't understand. We both trained with Tom Platz, and nobody in history, trained as intense as Tom did, and to the point where you would need 3 training partners to train with
Oh.
Tom, because Tom would destroy you, and then he would make you spot him and destroy him. And it was a great
But the thing
learning.
is, too, people talked about the intensity Dorian had. I would put Tom against Dorian's intensity any day, because the very first time I trained with Tom, he says, Lee, meet me at Rotondo Golds. I'm like, cool, leg day. I'm like, oh, fuck, Tom. First time training with Tom, it's legs. And we were doing squats. We got to about 4 plates, 20 rep sets, then the hack squats the way he does them. And then as you do the hack squat, you come halfway down and hold it. And then he'll make you hold it there, come back up halfway down, hold it. Then he'll jump on it, start pushing it down. You've got to resist. Then we did the extensions and everything else. And at the end of it, like, I was dying inside, but I'm
There's
just
3-hour
smiling.
workouts.
And as we were leaving the gym, I was dancing down the front stairs. He looks at me and goes, you're a machine. He goes, I'd be crawling out. Now, mind you, inside I'm fucking dying, but this is Tom. I'm not showing pain here. And I think we went across the road to Ruby's Diner down there. And that night when I got home, I woke up about 1 a.m. I swear to God, I was having a heart attack. My central nervous system was that fucked up. I'm laying in bed like I was sweating. I couldn't sleep because I wouldn't show pain or anything when I was with him. But that night I went to bed, and then I woke up and I just thought my whole nervous system was that fried from going through that workout. But I was acting like, it's not bothering me. That's fine. But fucking hell.
I'm cool with that. I think
Yeah.
it's the funny thing, because of the fact that I think we've learned that if I talk to my young self, I wouldn't need to train that hard to create the physique. But it was great that we did train that way. We were 20 kids, so of course we're going to train that way. And for me to tell a 20-year-old, I get it. You want to train like a beast, and you think by training to fatigue every set and every workout, that's going to make you the greatest, where it's not so.
No. The main thing I learned from Tom is, as I was saying, when doing that, when they say, do you train the failure, do you go heavy, do you go light? I've always said, listen to your body. I will go into the gym knowing, okay, I got to do chest. So if I grab the dumbbells and acknowledge it, they went to like the 180s. If I got the 140, I felt strong, I'd go 150. If I still felt good, I'd go 160. But the next time if I do chest, if I get the 140, I'm like, you know what, these feel heavy today. I'll just stick around the 140s. That's what I do. I wouldn't try and push it. Whereas some young kids, they'll bench, and I might bench 3-4 plates. Next chest workout, they get to 3 and they're struggling. Oh, but last time I did 4. I've got to do 4 again. Put 4 on. Then it's like, just listen to your body. It's your best guide. If you feel strong, go heavy. If you don't, back it off.
Listen to your body.
And then it's like people sometimes will do.
It's
and sometimes too, I'd always change. What's that?
It's tough though.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, I'd always change up. Say I did the 5 same chest exercises. Say you did incline dumbbell, incline fly, flat dumbbell, crossovers, pec deck. That might be one order. Next time I did chest workout, I'd start with pec deck and then do flat dumbbell. I'd use the same exercises, but always switch it up. I'd never do them in the same order, because you see some people come in leg day, squats first, this, that. But then if someone's in the squat rack, I'll just wait. It's like, go do extensions, come back to squats. And half the time when I did extensions first or leg press, I went to squats or sometimes my third exercise, I was actually stronger, which you'd think, oh, you would be tired and worn out. But whether just the legs were warmed up more, my back was warmed up more. Because sometimes when I went and did squats first, I'd be like, oh, my knees are a little sore. That doesn't feel right. It just felt awkward. But doing it second or third, I had some of the best leg workouts ever.
It's everything that you're kind of saying is an echo. And so it's nice that when you get to the top of the field, we understand that there's a certain level you need to go to each day. And one is you got to know and listen to the body when you go in the gym. Some days you're strong, and some days you feel like you're strong, but then you go in and you're weak. So just go with what your body is instead of what you think you are. And some days you go in feeling weak, and next thing you know, you have a sick PR, and you're lifting like a
I said about those days, like I said before, when they say about motivation, over those days where I've been like, oh, fuck, I don't want to go to the gym today. I just don't feel it. I get to the gym and have the best workout ever. And then I have those days where it's like legs tomorrow. I'm going to psych up, go to the gym. Worst fucking leg workout ever. It's like, I just took it as it come. And then too, I always told people, even instinctively, say that was back day and I got to go to the gym and do back. And I get there and I'm just like, okay, deadlifts or T-bar or this. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not feeling back today. I'll go pick another body part rather than do back and just go through the motions and have a shitty workout. I'll just go pick a different body part, go do shoulders and do back the next day. So I never really, just because it was back day, if I didn't want to do it and have a shitty workout, I wouldn't do it. I'd go pick another body part.